Welcome to Joe's Multiverse. I'm Joe, and I'm trying to be professional over here. Dog's playing around again. I wanted to do this video with my kids, and we just didn't get to it this weekend, but I wanted to combine my favorite Halloween horror figures with the movies, but the reason I wanted to do it with my kids, I was going to do that, combining the actual movies with where I sit with letting my kids see some of these movies, like the Jasons and the Freddys and the, you know, any movie, but horror movies. Would I let my kids watch, or which of these is it? Okay, let's try that all over again. Which of these movies would I let my children watch? So let's get into it. And what got me thinking about this was I came across this box of figures. And if you look at my first couple dozen of videos on this channel, this is the kind of thing that I started doing. I miss it. I loved it. I'm gonna start doing it again. So first off, which way was I going with this? And I'm going with the top 10 list is the most, what I consider probably the most iconic. So starting with number 10, I'm going with Pennywise. Now, this is not my favorite top 10 list, that kind of order. I'm just, you know, he's newer, and thinking about iconic, the other guys on this list are just a little more iconic, but this is definitely one of my personal favorites. I actually went as Pennywise with my kids for Halloween 2019, and I went all out. Turned out really, really good. I had a lot of fun. But Pennywise, number 10. Oh, and as far as would I or do I let my kids watch these particular movies? My kids, right now, they are 8 and 11. And yes, we watched the first one several times, and I went as this for Halloween, and then we actually went to the movie theater to see the second one. That one was scarier, a little more graphic, but you know, the stuff that I do with my kids, we make movies. Layla was, you know, pretty much the monster in our horror movie. But yeah, they love that one. Parental guidance, all that. All right, number 9. I'm going with most iconic. Number 9 on my list is Candyman. Now, probably personally, lower on the lower end is my personal favorites. Probably because he did such a good job. It creeped me out. I remember I was 15 when I saw this movie, and it just gave me such an icky feeling. I didn't like it. I think the remake was kind of garbage. I wish he would have came back. That would have been cool. I respect the icon. And would I let my kids watch the original Candymans? No. No, not right now. I wouldn't. It's just kind of, I think it would do more mess with their heads and that kind of thing. So kind of parent I am, I wouldn't let my 8 and 11-year-old watch that one. Me personally. All right, most iconic, number 8, I'm going with Ash. Now, he would be higher on the list if he wasn't more of a cult classic icon. But an icon nevertheless, and I'm talking more of the first movie. They just kind of got more comedic, and that's where I picked him up. I watched Army of Darkness and thought that movie was all by itself. I didn't even know it was like the third one, but especially the first one. And Ash, you know, being iconic in that realm, and then a lot of other stuff that he did. Bruce Campbell, and yeah, I let my kids watch the first Evil Dead. It's kind of goofy, but yeah. And who do we have for number 7? And this is another Crete Fest kind of feeling I had as a kid. Good old Pinhead. He'd be higher on the list if he was a little more relevant and there wasn't, you know, bigger icons. I would love to do this for Halloween, but what a job. And would I let my kids watch the original Hellraisers? Absolutely not. No way. That's real gory. They don't need to be trying to process all that in their little brains. You know, some people would say, well, what's the difference between the other movie and that? There's just something about it. I don't know. It's just how I feel. All right, number 6. And we are going with Ghostface from Scream. Now, talk about relevance. He should be definitely top 3 if it's based mostly on relevance. But, you know, he's a newer character compared to these other ones, the other icons that go as far back as the 70s. But with the relevance, he does kind of come up a little bit, but kind of stuck in the middle because there's just too big of icons on this list. And yeah, we watch all of these. My kids like to sit and watch these on like a marathon. And my son, actually this year, I wanted him to go as a pirate, but he wanted to do Ghostface. He just turned 11 the other week, and he says it's going to be his last year trick-or-treating, and this is what he wanted to do, so we got the costume, so there's that. All right, we are top 5. This guy should be higher on the list, but, you know, you can't argue with top 5 spot, and that is old Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. An icon, an awesome figure. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the figures here that were in top 5. The figure is super. I like the material. Chainsaw is awesome. His positioning with his hands is cool. He can hold it without stressing his arms and breaking them off. These NECA figures, you know, snap and all that easy enough. But awesome figure. And as far as the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, would I let my kids watch it? I hope they never watch it, because that movie is, man, it's think about holding somebody in your house and just torturing them and stuff. I mean, I know we all have, you know, people that would like, you know, but, you know, not for my kids. All right, number 4. The little chatty for my taste, but that's a main reason why a lot of people like him, and he's the one and only charismatic Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. He's definitely earns his spot in, I mean, definitely should be top 3, but he is top 4. For a lot of people, this is probably their number 1. That's okay. And as far as the movies, would I let my kids watch it? I would definitely sit with them for the first few of them, you know. But yeah, those I'm not big problem with that. All right, top 3. Number 3. This is another one that would be higher on my list if it was my favorites, but all the way from Camp Crystal Lake, we got Jason Voorhees. I think would be last monster, last slasher, last killer standing if it was, you know, the Survivor series of the icons. But I think with he really hasn't had a movie for a little while, so the relevancy, you know, but he's such an icon, such a mainstay in the ever presence of pop culture horror. You know, he's always on the Mount Rushmore, no doubt about it. So that's where we're standing and watching these movies. They're kind of silly, so yeah, I would watch these with my kids, but we're not movies that I'm really planning on watching again anytime soon. But if they made another one, I would definitely watch it. I loved it when they put Freddy and Jason in that movie together. I wish it wouldn't have been so corny, but when they do that kind of stuff, I'm the first one in line to get a ticket. All right, number 2. Now this, Jason and this guy are my personal top 2, and with the relevancy, bigger than ever, with as many movies and now TV shows. Come on, man. He's your friend to the end. It's Chucky. He is an icon. He's number 2 on this list this year, 2023. And yeah, I think we watched just about all these movies, and we were just watching part of the series today, which I don't agree with a lot of choices on that show, but adult supervision, we were kind of watching that a little bit, but I kind of hear my son, well, a few things that have happened on that show, and I hear him from the background go, gross. So, proud of him. Chucky, yeah. And my son dressed up as Chucky for Halloween the year that I was Pennywise. In fact, I've had this guy for a long time. Chucky is one of my favorites. I wish I had one of the newer ones that are out, but we have the Bride of Chucky too. So when I made when we finished making the movie that I made with my kids in September and October of 2019, called Where's Layla, maybe I'll leave a link to that movie. It's a 9-minute movie, me and my kids. It was like our little horror movie. They were really little. It was awesome. But as kind of a celebration, a gift, I bought the 2 dolls, Bride of Chucky and Chucky, and kind of gave them to my kids after we got done filming that. And my son has hated this ever since, and because I don't know why, he's just never liked them. And my daughter keeps wanting to play with the Bride of Chucky, and I don't let her because I don't want anything to happen to him. So I kind of bought them for myself. But let's edit that part out. But here we go. Now we are down to number 1, and Chucky's sitting on him. All right, to nobody's surprise, he's a number 1 in a lot of your hearts. He's got the same reflection, if he really squints, as Captain Kirk, the one, the only, Michael Myers. He is the original OG. He is family friendly. So yeah, we've watched a few of these. Now, I'm not the biggest horror guy. I'm just focusing on these because, you know, Halloween and all. And since I've started this channel, I've wanted to do a video on, like, just focusing on my horror figures, you know, my favorite ones. So I got to do a top 10 finally, which I'm really happy. And I invite everybody to let me know what your top 3 is, top 5, top 10, and put it in the comments below. But yeah, we got number 1, and we've watched these, and I want to get this mask too. They have some really good ones that they sell at the Halloween store that pops up in town here during Halloween. All right, well, I hope you all have a happy Halloween. I'll see y'all later.